We're here to idea everyone, to fire up your curiosity and connect you with the people and ideas that shape our world. Watch, listen, understand, connect, create. Let's move the human story forward together.
Hello and welcome to The Poetry of Science, a podcast which provides insight into new scientific research via the medium of poetry. I'm your host, Dr. Sam Illingworth, and each week I'll be introducing you to some of the latest scientific findings and sharing a selection of science-themed poetry. After all, we could all do with a little bit more poetry in our lives. In this episode, I'll be exploring new research, which has found that light pollution may extend the mosquito biting season. They rise from the dark, a cloud of wings, a swarm of hunger, a thirst for us. They hover, dive, pierce the skin and drink their fill, leaving only their blotted note of blood, a memory of pain. They fall to the dark, a winter's sleep against the bitter chill of silent nights and frozen flesh, but city lights betray their calm, beguiling a return to fly and feast and die. This poem is inspired by recent research published in the journal Insects, which has found that light pollution might lower mosquito survival by messing with their energy storage. The northern house mosquito is responsible for spreading the West Nile virus. To survive the winter, it goes into a kind of sleep mode known as diapause. Recent research shows that light pollution, like bright city lights at night, can affect the mosquito's ability to start this dormancy period. However, scientists haven't fully explored how light pollution affects the mosquito's daily activities and energy storage during both dormancy and active times. In this new study, researchers compared the daily activity of mosquitoes raised in conditions that encourage dormancy, short days, and conditions that prevent dormancy, long days, with and without artificial night at night. They aimed to better understand how daily activity, dormancy, and light pollution are connected. They found that exposure to artificial light at night changed several aspects related to dormancy, such as slightly increasing activity levels in short-day mosquitoes and preventing some of them from storing enough fat. These findings suggest that light pollution might lower insect survival by messing with their energy storage and could also affect other aspects related to dormancy. This could potentially make the mosquito biting season longer and make it harder for those living in urban environments to survive the winter. Now that you've heard the science, let me read the poem to you again. They rise from the dark, a cloud of wings, a swarm of hunger, a thirst for us. They hover, dive, pierce the skin and drink their fill, leaving only their blotted note of blood, a memory of pain. They fall to the dark, a winter's sleep against the bitter chill of silent nights and frozen flesh, but city lights betray their calm, beguiling a return to fly and feast and die. In this section of the podcast, I like to share a poem written by another poet on a topic related to the science that has been discussed so far. In this episode, I'll be reading Mosquitoes by Catherine Houth. Catherine Houth is an American children's author and poet who was born in 1940 and grew up in Grand Rapids, Michigan. She received a Bachelor of Arts in English at Marquette University in 1962 and a Master of Arts in Educational Psychology at the University of Washington in 1973. After leaving a career as a personal analyst in Seattle, she found herself drawn to the natural rhythms she encountered in the Southwest. Houth is also the author of the children's book Nightlife at the Yucca, The Story of a Flower and a Moth, published in 1996. She now lives in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, and many of her poems are inspired by her observations of animals whilst hiking or just walking around her neighbourhood. Mosquitoes by Catherine Houth. Mosquitoes with needle noses sucking blood from elbows, cheeks and chin. Why were you not designed to thrive on brine, on swine, or likewise spiny porcupines? Slap, slap, slap. Thank you for listening to the Poetry of Science.
Thank you very much for being with us for this episode of the ideaXme Show. ideaXme is a global platform. Our mission is to move the human story forward by sharing knowledge of the future. You can find us on all major audio networks at www.radioideaXme.com, on YouTube and Vimeo. Please subscribe.